Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Elon Musk's Grok, which is an AI-powered chatbot integrated into X, is designed to process queries and generate responses based on available data and user interactions. Now, this Grok, or many people call it Grok, is making waves because unlike the conventional AI chatbots, Grok is known for its informal tone and direct approach. Now, what is happening? Social media, I'll just give you a small example. Social media users, say, for example, were taken aback yesterday when a user handle asked Grok that who is the most communal politician of India. And the chatbot's response, which named Prime Minister Modi, has sparked widespread reactions. Similarly, many people are using this artificial intelligence tool to ask many questions related to the Modi government, related to the present dispensation. And that's why this Grok is making waves. Now, we'll try and understand as to what this Grok is doing, what kind of an impact it could have in the political and social sphere. Joining me now is a very renowned internet personality, Ankit Lal, who's a political strategist, columnist, author, a social media influencer. Thank you so much, Ankit. It's always a pleasure having you on the program. And uh,
Good morning.
yeah, and especially on a subject like this, I would really want to understand from you that what is Grok and how is it different from other artificial intelligence tools which we see like DeepSeek and there's Gemini, there are several others. What is Grok doing and in what ways is it really new?
Let's first of all understand what a AI chatbot, which Grok is eventually, does. We feed a set of data, and based on that data and on the training that we provide, a AI chatbot responds to queries. So Grok is a simple AI chatbot. Okay. The data that it has been fed and the kind of filters that have been put on it, those are the interesting aspects. What Grok is saying, those things are factual things. It is not saying anything out of the box. Just that in India we have become used to not having facts and figures as the base of our arguments, which Grok is using as a base. So I was looking at the X feed yesterday, and somebody asked which prime minister has not done a press conference in past 10 odd years. It's a fact that Prime Minister Modi has not conducted a press conference in past more than 10, 12 years. He likes to have conversations with people who are pliable to him rather than have press conferences. And he tried to do one in US, did go very well for him. But Grok Grok has been fed very simple data inputs which are available across the web. So somebody interestingly asked about which was the supposed so-called freedom fighter who started taking pension from the British. Brooks replied, Savarkar did that. That's a historically documented fact, and there's nothing wrong in it. So over the past 10, 15 years, we Indians have become used to this post-truth world, and now somebody has fed actual data into a chatbot which is replying with actual queries without filters in a quirky manner. And we Indians, of course, we enjoy a lot when something like
No,
this
but
comes
the
along.
same
So
thing would apply. Why just restrict India? It's going to apply to every country in the world. And if that is the kind of usage which Grok will have, I'm sure every sphere in every country is going to be affected by that.
100%. So there are two things that make Grok very interesting.
Mhm.
One, that it gives unfiltered replies. Okay, so when you compare Grok to other chatbots around, other chatbots are very, very focused and domain specific. Grok is more broad based, and unlike ChatGPT or others around, it has way less filters. Okay. And secondly, there would be global implications, there's no doubt. So, for example, if somebody starts asking about which US president is a convicted felon, guess what Grok's reply will be?
Yeah.
Okay. If somebody asks about what are the kind of atrocities that the US forces committed in Vietnam, Grok would reply from the historical sources, and those things are documented. These are not undocumented things. We need to understand that at this day and age, data is pretty much public. One can use even ChatGPT or other engines in a similar manner. What makes Grok different, especially in the context that we are using it, is the quirky way in it which it replies. So if I ask the same query to ChatGPT that okay, which is the prime minister, which who hasn't done a press conference, and somebody asks the same question to Grok, the replies at the end of the day, the data would be same, but it would be presented differently because eventually they are taking from the same data set which is available across the internet. So the data set is the same, but how they present that data is very, very different. Grok presents in a much more quirky manner, in a much more conversational friendly manner, especially when it comes to the way it has been replying in Hindi. It's very interesting. But a chat GPT would be limited in the way it engages to its users in a conversational manner.
Right. But Ankit, now you're a political strategist also. Now, when the political parties are going to be using this AI tool, and I'm sure they'll be using it for their own convenience, and questions will be asked. But the worry back in India is that it almost demolishes the ecosystem which was built by BJP, which relied so much on the Godi media, which relied so much on a manufactured narrative. Now, does this Grok actually puncture this narrative?
See, I see that as a uh, over reading into the into the impacts that Grok or any similar engine would AI chatbot or engine would have. The reason being that see the BJP ecosystem, it got weighed down a lot during the Lok Sabha. They hardly reached the mandate that they would I wanted. Okay, it was not as if they swept through the entire nation. It was a very, very difficult election. So even 2024 elections have taught us that okay, things are not rosy at BJP's and as they seem. However, the elections post that have been a different story, and there are multiple theories in which you can go, divulge, but that's a different thing altogether. However, things like Grok, who do they impact? They impact the floating voter. Okay. And for the floating voter, the problem is that how consistent we are with this messaging and up till the next election cycle. So, for example, the next election is in Bihar in November, December this year. Okay, how are we able to, as campaigners or as political strategists or as any party's supporter or leader, would we be able to use this tool that is available to us for a period of time consistently because we have this habit of using something for a period of time and then shelving it, moving on to something else. And also at the other end, how will the platform itself evolve? Would X put in filters? Would somebody from the establishment call up Elon Musk asking him to, hey, this is not going right for us? So
Right. Oh, so which means that does it look sustainable to you? Does it look like a sustainable model, or it could face bans in various countries? Because yesterday, since for the last 24 hours, everybody on the social media has been like when the questions were asked of the Modi government, and a lot of questions related to the BJP were asked. Many people started saying that now probably BJP will try and put a ban on Grok as well. Will they be able to do that? And my question
uh,
basically is that how sustainable is this AI tool?
well, given the current US scenario in which Elon Musk enjoys a very powerful position, I don't think anybody, maybe Russia or China, would uh, try and meddle with that. But countries like India who want to have friendly relationships with US, given Elon Musk's friendship with Trump, I don't think they would risk that. If that relationship goes sideways, then maybe something will change. But as of today, I don't see that happen.
So would you see this as some kind of a disruptor? I mean, I'm talking about Grok. That does Grok look like a disruptor, a technological disruptor, or do you think that this is a facilitator?
See, chatbots like Grok have been available for select audiences for a period of time.
Right.
However, this being available on Twitter or X,
Twitter.
as it's called now, it makes it available to a wider audience. Earlier, chatbots used to be available for very, very specific purposes to a very small niche audience. Now they are available to a larger audience and people. So now this is the real world test of a chatbot as to what are the kind of wacky things that people will ask and what are the kind of replies they will get. I've seen people asking Grok to list down abusers in Hindi and whatnot. And the replies till now have been very unfiltered. However, uh, any platform has to have, put some filters in place eventually. X till date has been very, very lenient with that. And this is not something new. Historically, X has been very lenient with the
Given the
way it.
fact that, but all said and done, Ankit, will Grok be seen as a facilitator or a disruptor? And why I'm asking you this is that, the kind of questions which are being asked on the social media about the powers that be, about the ruling dispensations, obviously those questions are not comfortable. And so, will Elon must be forced to use some filters, some kind of a restriction by which it might get controlled in some form or the other?
See, Grok is a disruptor. There's no doubt about that. The reason being that those such chatbots have been available earlier also, but this is the first time that a widely used social media platform like X, so neither Instagram nor Facebook have such a feature in which one can ask a question on the platform and a chatbot replies. So this is no doubt a disruptor. Okay, coming to the question about whether Elon Musk or the team at X they would put filters on this. See, X is a listed company, and any decision that will be made keeping in mind the profit that the company is making or whether it is losing any money because of Grok. If Grok increases engagement, it gets new users to the platform, it increases revenue for the platform, then the changes would be minimal. Okay. However, if there is financial backlash, if the company starts feeling that they are getting they are making financial losses because of Grok, then they will have to curb it back. However, I don't think as of today, given the geopolitical scenario that we live in, given that Elon Musk, who owns X, is very, very close and is very pally with the US President Donald Trump. So, in that scenario, I don't see a situation where governments can force other governments outside the US can force a platform like X to change the way it functions. Okay, there can be localized bans and things can be uh, curbed down a bit. For example, Brazil did ban X for a period of time in the past. Okay, such localized things can happen, but whether a platform wide change would come, that is very, very difficult to speculate. However, platforms like Grok keep evolving over a period of time, and this is kind of the first version that we released for public use. There will be updates that come into this. Other platforms which have similar features like ChatGPT or Gemini, which is Google's chatbot, they have certain filters in place. Twitter, which is now X, has a history of being the outlier in that aspect, that it does not heed to the stringent norms of that the governments like to follow. So there has been precedence in this. So let's see how it pans out. However, I don't see Grok going anywhere anytime soon. However, how the politicians or the campaigners use it, that's a different question altogether, because there has to be consistency in how we use it. Just
Right.
one odd question here or there won't make any difference to the establishment.
But given the fact that there is a certain narrative which which is built by political parties, which is built by an ecosystem, and it's not just restricted to India but everywhere across the world.
Mhm.
Now, does this AI tool puncture that? And specifically coming down to the example of India, what is the kind of impact it's going to have on Godi media? What is the impact it's going to have on the BJP ecosystem? What is the kind of impact it's going to have on the right-wing troll armies in India? I'm really
Okay,
wanting to know from you because you're a political strategist.
let me give you an example. If somebody asks a question that who are the top certain dalal journalists in India, and Grok, which has a golden tick, tags 10 people. Those people ideally should feel ashamed because it's coming from a non-partisan chatbot, which is AI driven and which has been fed data in a certain way, which is available publicly to anybody if they want to read and go through. Okay. So somebody asked yesterday on to Grok as to who is the BND journalist and what does BND mean. Grok actually replied to that. I was really surprised that it actually replied and tagged the person concerned. I So these things do have a psychological impact for sure. Okay. Since day before yesterday night when Grok was
So really,
launched for public,
which means that can it make or break a politician's image? Can it make or break the image of a political party if it's a sustained campaign like this?
so I'll give you an example. So since day before yesterday night, I've been receiving screenshots of Grok conversations on my WhatsApp. That okay, this
Hmm.
is what Grok said,
That's
this
what.
is what Grok said, this is what Grok said.
Hmm.
So the conversations of between individual users and Grok, they are not limited to X. They are transcending into other social media platforms, which is the beauty of this. This is what Twitter used to be post pre 2020, pre 2018. Okay. Twitter used to so why was Twitter very important and now why that importance was lost in between and why it might be regained? Because Twitter was the news wire. Twitter used to set the agenda, it used to influence the influencer. Now it has ensured, so over between a three four for a 3 4 year period between 2020 and 2022 23, Twitter lost that kind of edge, but now it is kind of getting the same engagement it used to get. It is kind of getting the same, I would say, user response that it used to get. And if Grok can sustain that, then nothing like it.
Right. So my last question to you, Ankit, is that and especially on the young minds, on young teenage minds, because I've seen that the kind of language which is used, they don't hesitate in using cuss words. They're using an abusive language because the tone and the tenor is quite informal. What does it do to the young minds, and especially the young boys and girls who would be picking it up at the school level or maybe at the college level, early college level? What is it really going to do?
Okay, I'll share an interesting conversation that I had with a Banarasi guy from Banaras who is into TV production and all. He was telling me stories about these holy events that used to happen in Banaras where uh, cuss words, galis used to be the norm of the conversation. Okay. So it's not as if the current generation has invented cuss words. Cuss words have been around for generations now. However, those private conversations are now in public. So the tone and tenor has changed, and the implications of it, it's a anthropological thing that anthropologists can study. I am not the right person to comment on that, but it is not as if this current generation invented cuss words. Those things have been around for hundreds of years, if not thousands. So we should chill a bit about it.
Right. All right, so we'll have to end it here, but lots of things to look forward to. And as you said, that this is a beginning of this new version of Grok, and it might evolve. But the big question is that can it face the wrath of the ruling dispensations? Will India put a ban, or will other countries across the world also? Will they be able to put a ban on Grok? Thank you so much, Ankit, for joining on
Well,
the Federal.
let them try. Let's see.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So thank you so much, Ankit, for joining. Thank you.